Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube, and welcome to another box set showcase. Of course, this is episode number 9. Now, for episode 9 here, I believe I had also, if you had watched my last Nasty Metal podcast, which would have been number 5, and there I also kind of announced that what number 9 would be is, of course, is on the only box set still at this point from, of course, for German classic metal band Warlock. This, of course, was the band where everybody got to hear Doro Pesch for the very first time. This was was the band that basically made her a household name in, of course, in metal. I mean, of course, to this day, she is still going. But this is the only box set for this band, for Warlock. Of course, it's titled I Rule the Ruins. It's a 4-disc CD box set, which, of course, contains the only 4 full-length albums from Warlock. This was released back in 2015. That's, of course, all the albums were remastered. There's some bonus tracks on some of these, and I'll go in through some of the bonus, or at least only one of the albums here actually has bonus tracks, and I'll get into all of that when I do start the show. So with that, without further ado, speaking of showing, let's just get right in. So here we have the box here. It's the front, which of course is using again the artwork for the Triumph and Agony album. So there we go. Looks there. Here's the back cover, or the back, which again listing the 4 album covers for all the 4 albums, and of course there's your track listing there. So disc 1 there for disc 2, of course there listing again stuff for again like bonus tracks and so on there. Spine. And of course, it opens like this. Again, as you can tell, here they are all out of the box. Just want to make it a bit easier so I don't have to pull this always. Because again, it's kind of a little bit difficult to actually try and get CD or the discs out of here. Because of apparently it just seems to be a little bit tight in some areas. So that's why I did. But still, this is how you do it. Again, you store the discs right there, and I'll go through most of that. So, okay. Right there's the box. Now it's on to, of course, here. Now, for these box sets, for this style here, again, the Caroline box set, even the same thing for, again, kind of similar also with my Derringer box set. They definitely will include a booklet. So here we have a booklet here. Again, so let's try and see if we can speed through some of this. This is definitely pretty much a very cool interview, and right up with Doro Pesch. Definitely says some great history, and just a great run, and talks through again the history about the band and so on. A great photo picture of her there. But yeah, this is a very, very good read. Photo from, I would say, the Triumph and Agony album. Just a great, very, very good read. All you need to know about Warlock is in here. Alright, so there we go. Now we get other, like, the information, so on, for recording and so on, for Burning the Witches. Of course, there for a Hellbound. And, True Steel, and of course Trapped in Agony there. And back cover, very nice photo collage. So there is the booklet. Alright, on to CD number 1, which is, of course, is the debut full-length album, Burning the Witches, which was released in 1984. So we have the front cover there. Back cover, again, with track listing and so on. No bonus tracks for this one, just remastered. But, there we go. And of course, the CD. Very, very cool debut album. This one was originally released through Mausoleum Records in 1984, before then getting re-released through Vertigo when they had signed with Vertigo. But definitely very similar to, again, what you'd expect actually from Mausoleum Records, or even Earthshaker, because of it actually was produced by the guy that I believe that had ran the Earthshaker Records label. So it's got that very rough, raw German sound that you would expect on for the bands like on Mausoleum Records and Earthshaker. Very similar to also the first two Atlan albums, or even Mad Butcher or Steeler, or any of those fucking bands, or any on both Mausoleum Records and Earthshaker Records. Has that very underground cult German 80s metal sound. Very cool though. Very good debut album. Artwork, cheesy, but it was very typical of those labels. So there is disc number 1, Burning the Witches. Now we have disc number 2, which was their debut on a major label. It's, of course, is Hellbound from 1985. So we have the front cover here. Back cover here, which actually lists some bonus tracks for this one. So the bonus tracks on this one is a song called Hellraiser. I think it was a video-only track or a DVD-only. Apparently, it was featured on a compilation. All that I know, and these other 3 stuff were from a 12-inch single, which actually is for that track right there. And of course, so we have then the all-night special single mix. So there's the bonus track selection. So there we go. The CD. Very good follow-up. This is definitely where you really kind of start to hear them really kind of come in a bit of their own. This is definitely a great fucking album right here. Just great stuff. It's definitely a contender for one of my absolute favorite albums from a Warlock. Just a great album. Definitely good stuff here. So there we go. Again, I mean, I could definitely talk a bit great depth on this one. Actually, I should definitely point out that guitar player, let's see where we get Rudy Graff. He would eventually would leave the band after this album and would join and play with Rage on the Execution Guaranteed album. So after this, he left and joined Rage. Anyways, great album. Just a great fucking album there. So here I have disc number 3, which of course is their 3rd full-length album, True as Steel, and their 2nd on a major label. So we have, of course, the front cover here. Back cover, which of course doesn't list any bonus tracks for this album, which there isn't. It's just, again, remastered. Definitely great stuff here. CD. Again, just as I said, with Hellbound being possibly one of my favorite albums, I think this one also is a really good contender. It's really kind of difficult which one I like more, this album or this album, because I actually like both these two albums. Just a great, it's definitely a little more commercial sound, a little more melodic, but it still has a nice edge to it. It's still heavy. I still, every bit of this album, of course, I should also mention that it was also mixed by, Michael Wagner, who of course did a lot of production job for like Accept, Dokken, Skid Row, Alice Cooper, Raven, and just to really name a few of those. Definitely some great production job here too. Again, great stuff. Also even engineered and worked on the first Hazard album. So there we go. Great stuff. Great album. Now, of course, here we have is, of course, disc number 4 and the last disc here, which, of course, is definitely one of the more popular albums and their most exposed album in many ways. That's, of course, is Triumphant Agony, which artwork for this one, again, is the art that's being used for the box set and so on. So we have the front cover here, back cover. Again, no bonus tracks, just straight up remastered. Very cool stuff. And there's your CD. Definitely a good album, though. Definitely, as far when it comes to the sound, when it comes to between these 4 albums, oh boy, I guess you could say this one's probably my 3rd favorite album, actually. This is definitely my 3rd favorite. Maybe 4th favorite. I would say it's my 3rd favorite because there's some solid, crunchy heavy metal on this one. Just great, some great stuff on this album. Also, I should mention there is, of course, a guitar player change on here. I know that the guitar, one of the members on True as Steel would join Udio for Animal House. However, on this one, we then see guitar player Tommy Bolan. Not to be confused with the late Tommy Bolin from, of course, Deep Purple and James Gang fame and so on. But this Tommy Bolan was from the New York or New Jersey-based heavy metal band Armed Forces, who, of course, released the Let There Be Metal EP back in 1985. The guitar player from that one is actually the guitar player on this album right here. So that is very, very, very interesting, very cool to actually find out. Still, though, again, I would not say there is not a bad song on this one. I mean, again, any of these 4 full-length albums are just great to be in general. But as far as picking a favorite, I think this one would be my 3rd favorite album. It's not my absolute favorite album, but again, it's a fucking solid heavy metal album from start to finish. Just some great crunchy stuff on here. Again, some of my favorite songs off this one, again, will be I Rule the Ruins, A Kiss of Death, and there's another one I also dig off of this one, too. East Meets West is, 3 of my favorite songs right there off this album. So there you go. So now we would get to put the disc back together. Let's put all of these here. And of course, to give you a good idea what I'm talking about, was talking in the beginning, right there. We put these all back in here, and there we go. That's how it is. So there we go. Here is the I Rule the Ruins box set, which was released back in 2015. This is probably the first box set for, of course, Warlock. And for the time when I heard that when this was coming out, I had to grab this. So this is a great freaking box set. If you don't own any Warlock albums on CD and you have a tough time looking for anyone, you know what? I think you relatively get this still. I think you can easily still get a hold of this. I believe that you can still find this for some very, very good prices online. It's still, I believe, is still in print. If it hasn't, I don't think any people are charging for any more than at least maybe $30. And so, I mean, for this alone, it's not a bad price. Again, even the booklet, when you have at least a good in-depth interview on the history and the formation and so on for Warlock with, of course, Adoro Pesh, you definitely, it's a great package here. Just great stuff. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed. This every Thrash at Sam out. And I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone. Have a nice weekend.